Hi Libra, I hope you guys are doing terrific today. My name is Jackie. Welcome to my channel. Welcome those of you who are new, and welcome back those who have been here before. I'm going to be pulling some general energies for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the first 2 weeks in December, but particularly for the full moon in Gemini, which is a new cycle for us. That's going to be happening on December 12th. So I'm just going to mention a couple things happening in the sky, guys, for this first 2 weeks of December. So on the 2nd, we have Jupiter entering into Capricorn. So this energy opens up beautiful things for us when we approach it with integrity and in a moral and mature way, right? We want to be flexible, not too self-serving right now in any of our interactions with people. It's really not going to serve us in this energy because Jupiter is all about expansion. Capricorn is about, really working hard and getting a job, getting the job done. So be diligent. But Jupiter really does not like a dishonest approach, so it's not going to fare well for you. And then on December 9th, we have Mercury ingressing or entering into Sagittarius. That's all about fairness. So I really like that. We do have this full moon in Gemini exactly opposing the Sagittarius sun right across the street from it. So this energy is about finding that balance between our logical mind, which is Gemini, and a greater quest for meaning and experiences and desires beyond where we're at right now, which is very much a Sagittarius energy, right? So this is really what we're going to be working on. This is really an awesome time, really, of culmination. The new moon wish is coming to fruition. See what we got for your oracle. Softly, softly, the gentle touch, or the tender touch. I'm sorry, what did I read? Gently. Softly, softly, the tender touch. It's a lovely card, right? It's a beautiful card. This is really about you just being in your feminine power. And this is not gender specific. What we mean by feminine power when we say that in the spiritual community, it's very much the power that we tap into of just being and not being too forceful, not making choices and assumptions and trying to rule things through our ego consciousness, but it's just through naturally being. This is telling me that many of you have been working very, very hard and you have learned much and you've accomplished much, but now it's time to change your approach, Leo. Let go of any force in your approach to creating something right now. You're going to be much more powerful in easing back on your approach, like less aggressiveness, less anything having to do with your ego consciousness. Just kind of put it on a shelf for a minute. We all have an ego, and it's healthy to have an ego, for goodness sake. It really is, But you just want to be careful of not allowing that to push and drive your decisions, your choices, and how you construct the narrative of your life right now, Because you really are being asked to change your approach. Let go of any force in your approach that's just not been serving you up to this point. Everything serves a purpose, and learning the benefits and limitations of the more forceful ways of manifesting through effort and willpower can definitely have a useful lesson. But the thing is, if you continue with that, this energy says that it's going to stop working for you, because now you're beginning to create on a far grander scale that's beyond anything that you've been able to bring to yourself thus far. So it's like as soon as you pull back and you soften up your approach, your ability to manifest is going to open up, because you're actually limiting yourself with outdated beliefs and an outdated system of how things work. Things that worked for you even last year, nonetheless 5 years ago, are probably not working for you now. Where in the areas of your life where you really want to make change, where you would like to really see change. There are areas in your life, I'm sure, that you're completely happy with. But I'm talking about the areas in your life where you would really like to see change. You really need to look at your part in your level of aggression and trying to make things happen. Are you trying to fit a circle in a square with a job? Are you trying to continuously make a relationship work that is clearly past its expiration date? It's like trying to revive the dead on the side of the road. If you're in this space, always trying to remain hopeful, thinking that, you can talk something into existence or out of existence, it's just not going to be working for you here, which is really great. because this is about just like let it go. Because what's naturally coming to you, Leo, I mean, anything that is meant for you cannot be held back from you. And you really need to believe that. Because I'm getting that a lot of the aggression and aggression sounds very mean, and I don't mean for it to, but the like assertive behavior that you've been maybe acting out in relationships or having to do with your job, a lot of that is based in fear. Well, it's always based in fear, really, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we never act that way unless we feel like we need to fight for something or defend something or something like that. But the message here is you don't need to do that. Just softly, the tender touch. So if you back off and you just lighten up a little bit and you just really kind of get in touch with a softer and softer. I mean, what other adjective do I want to come up with for that? Just less ego. Just less ego. Whatever that means for you. So if there's a relationship in your life that maybe you're trying to force, even if only in your own mind, even if it's not even in real time, you know what I mean? You might want to back off a little bit, take a little space, see what happens, see how nature wants it to roll out. Same thing with the job. Are you trying to make a job work? Are you trying to make yourself like something that's just you don't like? This is really a great energy to get in touch with this. And it's a great time too, guys, because again, this full moon is a time of culmination. It's an emotional time. Emotional time for anything having to do with romance, relationships, a very fertile time too. Things are going to be cracking open and being born in this energy. So there's a definitive sense of emotions bursting to the top here. It's time to express ourselves, all of us. Just know that not everything is going to make perfect sense or seem completely rational yet. And the reason for that is while the full moon is square Neptune occurring when Mars forms this trine with Neptune, that's very creative, visionary, intuitive energy. It's really beautiful. At the same time, we do have Venus in between Saturn and Pluto, which is kind of making Venus feel pretty trapped, right? So Venus doesn't like to feel trapped, but Saturn is the great taskmaster, right? We have to love Saturn because Saturn is what levels us up in our life. And Pluto is about releasing core truths and transforming. So there's poor little Venus, stuck in between there, and Saturn's pushing her. Look at your truth. Look, what hasn't been working for you up to this point. What's no longer serving you because I want to level you up, and we're all right there. So anything Venusian, guys, we're going to be really pushed to really look at hard and fast. And that's about anything having to do with our relationships and our relationship with money as well. So a lot of it has to do with career. But it's all good. We're going to pull a Celtic cross spread for you. I'm going to be doing interpretations for relationships as well as career. And then at the end, I'm going to pull some love oracles, okay, for those of you in the space of relationships. So let me just pull the cards and we'll talk about everything as we roll everything out. Yeah. But as far as this full moon, the impact of it, it's really going to be mostly hitting the mutable signs, guys. So really Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And even though you're Leo, chances are you have mutable energy in your chart. So if you know your chart, definitely check that out. And particularly if you have any points from 16 to 24 degrees. And this would be primarily in your personal planet. So obviously, if you're here as a Leo sun, it wouldn't be your sun, but it could be your rising sun, your moon sign, or your Venus. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, 16 to 24 degrees. So you're going to be feeling this the most. So yeah, let's check out what we have here for you guys. We have the Queen of Wands is representing the situation in reverse, okay? I like reversals, guys. I like reversals. Those of you who've been watching me, I think there's a lot of value because it helps to highlight what we need to focus on. And because we have free will, because tarot should never be the Holy Grail. It's just a tool to help us understand the energies and some options that we have, right? So with the Queen of Wands reversed, this is telling me that there's a delay in something that you really would like to push forward. So you can feel delayed inside of yourself, inside your own skin, like you're just waiting for a time period to pass. You're waiting for some sort of healing to happen. You're waiting for something to present itself so that you can move forward in a way that where you won't feel so blocked. I'm just getting a very blocked energy here, Leo. Something's blocking you. So for some of you, this can be the pain from a past relationship or a relationship that you've recently maybe ended or grown out of. Some of you might actively be in the relationship and things just feel off and you feel blocked. Others of you just may feel very blocked in your career, like you're there and you're going through the motions, but you're not really feeling it, you know? You really want something better for yourself. But then look, we have the Ace of Swords crossing, which is beautiful. Ace of Swords is beautiful, and what I really like about it is that when this shows up, it ends up adding a lightness to any of the potentially negative minor arcanas close by. So it kind of adds a beautiful positive spin for all the minor cards. This is about a new beginning, a new truth, a new way of framing reality. So there's definitely something new here. And I love this with this softly, softly, the tender touch, because this does indicate that things are changing for you. But the advice here is, as you enter into this next cycle, do not do things the way you did before. So think about how you do relationship. Don't do it like that anymore. Obviously, it didn't work. If you're working on a new relationship, same thing with a job. Really look at these experiences as learning platforms and really try to extract the lesson out of it so that you can move forward and into this new way that you're going to be framing reality with a clean slate. That's beautiful. Crowning you is victory, Leo. Six of Wands, it's about victory and respect. Respect. You're going to be getting a lot of respect. You're going to be putting yourself in a position where you're going to be very highly regarded, Leo. But celebrating nonetheless, man. This is just all about victory. And you arriving where it is that you're going, and that's crowning you. The only way that you're getting there, my friend, is here. Okay? Oh, sometimes just the cards are incredible how they line up. Six of Wands is about victory. The Death is about an ending and a brand new beginning. As quick as it ends is a beginning right there. It's transformation. But it's transformation with blessings. It's transformation of leveling up. This is upward mobility, Leo. Wherever you're going to be, wherever you are, okay, you guys are in a moment of change. Leo, you are in a moment of change. You are entering this time period. No, you're in the time, one foot is in the time period already. And I just feel it, listen, for all of us really, the Cancer Capricorn eclipse started in the summer of 2018. It's not finishing until July of 2020. And we're all feeling it. Obviously, the cardinal signs are feeling it more, but we're all feeling that. That in conjunction with the Chiron and Aries energy that I mentioned in my last video, there is a lot of leveling up and changing, guys. Okay? And I feel this so strong with you guys that you are actively ending a cycle right now. Actively. You're like in the muck of it. And you're transforming into something completely new. You really are. And this can be a little scary for you because you guys are coming from a place where you did have what you need. The Six of Pentacles is about you having what you need. So this is really you throwing caution to the wind and taking a chance. And you might not feel entirely comfortable. You might not, because the Six of Pentacles is about having what you need as far as resources go. You might not be rolling in the money. Who can't use a little more, right? I suppose. But you certainly having what you needed, if it's resonating with you that way. If not that way, then you were in a space where you felt like you were in a relationship that you believed to be really good for you and that it gave you what you needed. But it's because it's a pentacle energy, I just feel like there were almost like boxes that were checked off. Like if you were in this relationship, it gave you the money that you needed, or the person knew how to communicate pretty well, or something like, but just to the point of just having what you need. And I feel like, Leo, you're in a space of realizing you want more. You want to level up. Because this was in your past, and you want more for yourself. You just really do. You want more for yourself. Now, in your near future, we have the Seven of Cups, which can be a little bit of a confusing energy, but not in a bad way. You know, 5 of the 7 cups are very, very positive. Those of you who've been watching me know my spiel with the 7 cups. I don't like to look at it as a bad energy because I just don't think it is. Because let's just do the math. 5 out of the 7 cups are really awesome. 2 of them are questionable. One is higher consciousness, one is angelic guidance, one is wisdom, one is the ultimate utopia, and one is resources. It's 2 of them, 2 out of the 7 we're not sure about. That's all. So this could be you feeling confused about what your next step is going to be. You feel it in your bones that you're ready for this next level, leveling up, this transformation, the ending happened. You're right there at the starting gate for the new beginning, but you're just not sure. Now, a lot of times this energy comes through when we just don't know what's going to end up being, and we're feeling pretty scared because we want, as human beings, we would love absolutes. We would love to just be able to whip out our crystal ball and ask it a question and have it answer us very definitively and very directly, right? But the most we can hope for is to understand the energies, understand the energy that's available to us and our options and how to best function in that. And that's like maybe not cutting the mustard for you in this energy. You really kind of want to know, if I do this, what is that going to look like? If I leave this relationship, what's on the other side of it for me? All right, I left this relationship, but I'm having a really hard time envisioning my life moving forward. And this can end up creating an analysis paralysis situation. This could also definitely be, guys, you being in a job that's giving you just enough money, but you're not really feeling that fulfilled, but you're afraid to leave because you're not sure if you're going to end up having what you need. I mean, that's a common energy to come out with when there's like trepidation about a career. It's like you want to take this leap, you want to take this chance, but you just don't know all the information. Now, representing you right now, yeah. I mean, we have the High Priestess reverse. This just tells me that, and this represents you right now in your mindset. And the High Priestess reverse is that you are really not tuning in heavily enough in the right way with your intuition. Not that you're not capable, Leo. Of course you are. The only time this happens, though, with us guys is when we allow these fears to slip in there. And we start, for example, I'll give you a very practical example. Let's say your relationship ended, okay? And you're in the space of being single for the first time in a while, or maybe not wanting to be single, okay? You're not really happy about the ending of the relationship. But the bottom line is you find yourself in this space and you're reflecting on the relationship that you just got out of that clearly didn't work. And you're starting to question your ability to actually identify healthy people for you, healthy relationships. And that's not trusting your intuition. And that's what we get with the High Priestess in reverse. It's this space where it's like, yeah, well, you know what? I was really sure about that thing back then, but then that didn't fare so well for me. So, I don't know. I don't know if I could trust myself 100%. This could also be a situation where you weren't in a relationship and somebody came back and they're begging you to get back with them. And they're promising you all of these wonderful things, but you're just like, you don't know what to believe. You can't trust yourself. You're just not sure. It's like a head or heart kind of decision that you feel like you're needing to deal with. So an external influence to you is the Knight of Swords reverse. So this is someone honestly not being honest with you. No wonder you're a little confused here. Knight of Swords is about... Now, this could be a situation, for example, where you're presented with a situation where you're just not trusting everything about it. You don't feel like you're being given the whole story. If this has to do with work, you feel like things are being held back from you, but there's an element about it that's inhibiting your ability to trust it. Same thing with a relationship. Many of you might be either involved with someone now, or you were involved with someone and they're showing back up and they're singing you a song, but you just know it's not true. You just know it's not true, but you're struggling with your intuition. And, that could be, again, we always struggle when we're scared, and the fear could be based in the fact that, you probably still love them. You really don't want to let it go, but at the same time, you know that they're not being honest with you. Your fear position, we have the Seven of Wands reverse. This is about you, and this is your fear, okay? You feeling the need to defend yourself, and you just not having the gumption anymore to defend yourself, so that it's in your fear that you just don't have the energy to defend yourself to a person or situation anymore. So Leo, honestly, I get a lot of you just going quiet. It's going quiet. I would not be surprised if a number of you you know, ghosted somebody. I really don't like ghosting, but I feel like in situations where somebody's coming at you, and there's nowhere to escape, and you try talking to them, and it's still this situation where you continuously need to defend yourself over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just better to like turn the phone off and just regroup yourself, because you're afraid that you won't be able to defend yourself. Yeah, that's a very vulnerable position to be in. So this could also be you feeling very overwhelmed by feelings and emotions for this person and not trusting yourself to not be able to have your defenses up in a way that would end up serving you later on, because maybe things didn't go so well in the relationship and you're afraid if you get back into the relationship, you're just going to be too weak in the knees to say no. You're just not trusting yourself. You're not trusting yourself to stand up for yourself. Yeah, because something's not fair here, even in the outcome. Justice reverse is just, you know, the scales are unbalanced. You're not able to bring balance to it no matter what you're doing. So this could be, you know, I'm looking at this oracle, softly, softly, the tender touch. Your approach, Leo, needs to change in one area of your life. You know, you're either beating yourself up quietly and not standing up for yourself enough, which is unusual for a Leo, but you can have many other things in your chart that would make you like that, right? So if you're resonating with that, you know, where you end up, you know, getting the shitty end of the stick a lot of the time and end up, you know, dealing with things that you really shouldn't be dealing with. And you go home and you beat yourself up with, you know, allowing that to happen. Where this could certainly be you really trying to force a situation, trying to get somebody to see the light. Isn't it so frustrating? When you know the truth and you're just like, what are you not seeing? But they're not seeing it. And as I always say, you know, you could show 4 different people one thing and they could walk away with 4 different perspectives of that one thing. So it's just like your genuine misunderstanding. You guys are not seeing eye to eye on a situation. This could have to do with work, where there's just some sort of injustice going on at work. This feeling where you've been made to defend yourself and you just don't want to defend yourself anymore. There's something about a situation that you're just not trusting, and you're not trusting yourself to not get sucked into the undercurrent of it all. And it's creating some confusion for you. It really is. But the advice here is to change your approach. Now, and this is the thing. We have to just acknowledge that you do have this blessing of, there is this delay, but there is this blessing of a new start and a victory for you. But I feel like until you deal with this, whatever person or situation is making you feel sucked in and under, and you're not going to be able to bring that to yourself, Leo. Let's see if we could get some more information here. Let's find out what's a little confusing for you about that 7 of Cups energy. Is there anything want to pop out? Nope. Okay, let's get another one. Oh, okay, we got 2. Okay, so we have, yeah. Shadow side. Shadow side is the equivalent of the devil energy in other decks, which is about addiction and low vibrational behavior and all that means. So it could be substance abuse, alcohol abuse, or addictions, addictions to food, addictions to shopping, anything like that. That's gonna, that a person can lose themselves in, and it could certainly just be low vibrational thinking. Somebody who is like chronically depressed, always a little left to center. But it's like somebody who just refuses to get help kind of thing, because many people struggle with sadness, depression, and anxiety, and when they talk about it, or they, with the shadow energy and the devil energy, they're not talking about it. They're being very like broody and very moody and very flippant in their behaviors, and it's really hard to kind of hard to keep track. This is very like a borderline sensibility. Nothing against anyone with borderline personality disorder at all, but there are qualities, right, with that. Same ways there are with narcissistic personality disorder. There are qualities of degradation, and that could be exhibiting itself here as well, where You know, there's this negative where, you know, this partner idealizes you one minute and then discounts you the next minute and starts arguments for no apparent reason at all, and you never feel like you're doing the right thing. You're just always feeling like you're just not doing the right thing, and that kind of behavior can be quite confusing. And we have the hangman energy. So, yeah, I mean, this is putting you in a space of really thinking. You're very pensive about everything that's been going on, and you're trying to figure out your next step. And you just want to be careful, though, here, Leo. You don't want to have any sort of analysis paralysis, because I do get that a lot of you are pulling yourself away from a situation just because you don't trust yourself in it. Or even if you're in it, you kind of don't want to deal with it fully, mentally, in the moment. And you're pulling yourself away from it. But however it's working out, I'm getting that there's this energy here of just not wanting to deal like front and center with an issue that you know needs addressing, having to do with either a relationship or something in your career, and you're just really not wanting to do it. And it's because you feel like you have not been treated very fairly, and you just don't want to deal with it. Because this is the thing, you know, tickling up at your toes here is going to be the Sagittarius and Gemini partnering of energy, which, guys, is really fun. I mean, this is a great energy for the holiday season. So even though anything that might seem like a little heavy, this is happening very, you know, internally, right, inside of you. But there is going to be this lightness, this general lightness in the air, right? It's Gemini and Sagittarius, they really, these two energies actually love to party together. They don't like to do very responsible things together, which is why if you ever hear anything negative, because they oppose each other, right? But they love to get together and have a good time. So there's going to be this lightness, and I just feel like a lot of you are not going to want to deal. And you know what, Leo? Rock on, man. Don't deal with it yet. As long as you're still being productive in your inner world. And what I mean by that is, you need to still be thinking about, if you decide to step away from a situation, even if only in your mind, make sure you're really looking at how you've been conducting yourself within this relationship or within this situation, and figure out how you can change it, how you can make, what's that saying? Because it's a very feminine vibe, this energy. It's very feminine, and it's about getting more done with less work, like less aggression, less effort. It's about working smarter. That's what I wanted to say. It's about working smarter. Okay, so think about how you can handle this relationship or any situation that's in your job, anything going on with a family member, in a smarter way. In a smarter way. Yeah, but I do get that somebody is not being very respectful in your world in one area or another. Could be in work, could be the devil energy. I just feel like you're being made to deal with something that's really like not completely your issue here. I like that. Okay, so I wanted to shuffle those for pull some love messages here for those of you in relationship. Not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Wedding rings, engagement ring. All right, so for those of you here with a relationship on your heart, I feel like the devil energy, which is the mask, you guys are going to end up talking things out, Leo. You're going to end up talking things out, because then we have engagement ring, engagement, partnership, commitment, completion, union, married, soul connection, everlasting promise. You guys are going to be figuring your stuff out as long as you figure out a new approach to this. This is really going to hinge, Leo, I feel very strongly about this. Even if you had really nothing to do with the demise or the issues within the content of the relationship, I feel like you just changing your approach and you pulling back and lightening up a little bit is going to create more of a comfortable environment for there to be a healthy exchange. So I think that this is really good for those of you who are coming here with relationship on your mind. Obviously, this is not going to resonate with everyone. But this is a very definitive message for a handful of you guys. Yeah, good stuff. Communication with a new set of rules, though, new circumstances. I like it. Leo, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.